Cavaliers take game one in their series with the Chicago Bulls by 13. Game that was never really in doubt. Cavaliers led it by as many as 22, although Chicago was able to pull within 7 on a couple of different occasions. Cleveland dominated the boards and take game one easily. Game two is Monday night. You'll see that on TNT from Cleveland. So as we check out the schedule, fellas, what does Chicago have to do to get themselves in this series in game two?
Derrick Rose has to continue to be aggressive in attack. I think that I obviously have to cure up the rebounding difference. And then Kirk Hinrich has to get on page. He has to get on page and be a guy that's that second complementing scorer because they don't really have that low post threat. And if he can do that, then I think the other guys will play their roles. They can be double-figure scorers, but Rose has to set the tone, and Hinrich has to follow.
They split the season series 2-2, although LeBron was not involved in one of the Bulls' wins. But what can Chicago do to give themselves a chance to take game two here?
Well, 5 for 15, Luol Deng, you must show up. And he's an X factor, in my opinion. Wasn't in the playoffs last year. He had the injury. He has to step his game up, play another level, along with Rose and Hinrich. If those three guys can play, along with Noah's rebound and block a few shots, and I think maybe Vinny has to add, Hakeem Warrick, throw him in the mix and use some of his fouls against Shaq and the rest of those bigs.
Yeah, Warrick spent a lot of time on LeBron James, did a passable job against him, particularly in the first half. For Cleveland, a relatively easy win, but LeBron James and the other guys and Mike Brown talked about the things they can clean up for game two because an experienced playoff team, they're looking to get better each and every game. What can they address for game two and beyond?
Well, I think LeBron said it best in the post-game interview, 18 turnovers. I think when they got to 20-point lead, they got a little lackadaisical, a little bored, and kind of got careless with the basketball, and that's how the Bulls got back in the game. If they limit that, then that 20-point lead may be a 30-point lead.
What's on the Cavs' to-do list for game two?
Well, I think they have to keep their intensity high. I mean, they got out to a lead, and they basically lost their focus. They kind of settled and was comfortable with that lead. And then when the Bulls picked up that intensity, start making those plays, start pressing, and that's when the turnovers came in. But you got to continue to stomp on the team. If you got them down, you keep them down. So then you can rest your top players and keep them fresh for later in the playoffs. And
the Cavaliers just dominated on the boards. They big advantage in second chance points and offensive rebounds and plus 12 in rebounds total. They'll try to press that advantage in game two on Monday night. Again, you'll see that game from Cleveland on TNT. And, of course, post-game coverage continues right here on NBA TV. Stick around and check us out after each and every game.